Good morning, students. I hope you are all very fine. Let us continue with our Unit 8. I've already given an introduction about what is the meaning for co-curricular activities, isn't it? So, through the co-curricular activities, we are able to shape the personality of the children in a better way. We have learnt that in the schools, we are provided with various kinds of co-curricular activities, and there are certain principles lying behind arranging these co-curricular activities. Is it not? First, it helps to transform the personality of the child. We are able to bring out the talents and the inner potentiality of the child and mold them into better persons. Is it not? So, as a teacher, we have to have a very good control over organizing the various co-curricular activities. In today's class, we will discuss about what is the importance of organizing the various co-curricular activities and how to organize them in a better and an effective manner in the learning situation. Co-curricular activities. It influences the all-round development of the child, and they are the activity. They are called as the ancillary activities, which act as a medium of self-expression and a means for the personality growth. There are certain values in arranging the co-curricular activities. Namely, it helps in the physical growth, that is the proper growth and development of their body. It has academic value. It enhances their opportunities and their performance in the studies. It has social value. It modifies their social behavior and understanding of the social relationship. It has aesthetic value, that is, it enhances their beauty and appreciation for the nature and preservation of the nature. And it has recreational value, that is, it provides them uh, an activity for their free time, is it not? So they feel happy to perform these activities. The school assembly, it is a proper way where we arrange different kinds of disciplined activities in a school. And then to enhance the communication skills, we can arrange the debates, discussion, seminars, and symposia. And we can organize the dramas, is it not? Various kinds of dramas. It may be in the school or the cultural programs, school function, and others. And we can arrange for the guides and scouts, NCC, NSS, and also some literary club activities, games, and sports. All these come under the co-curricular activities. When we look into the importance of a school assembly, who is in charge for arranging the assembly? Namely, the school educational administrator or the HM and the teachers are responsible for arranging a proper and an effective school assembly in the morning. So the entire school population assembles at the time of the assembly, and they learn discipline, uniformity, coordination of work, and they learn the orderliness in the morning itself. So it is a place where any common announcements, celebrations, competitions, and timetable can be dispersed to the students and the teachers very easily. By conducting the school assembly, we are able to follow the rules and regulations, and they know what are the ideals and the practices which are prevailing in a particular school. Through school assembly, proper planning should be done. So, whenever we plan the activity in the morning assembly, what are the activities for the day? It will be properly executed, and it should be also meaningful to conduct a prayer. The in the morning assembly, when we conduct a prayer and other services, it should provide some development in the child's personality, and it should motivate the children for the whole day. So the parents, the parents at the back of the students, the teachers, and the HM should participate in the school assembly and motivate the children in learning. So, when we provide a school assembly, it helps in development of the personality, democratic principles among the children. It also helps to deliver ethical and moral messages to the students. It provides, you can see normally only the not only one particular student or one particular class or department is doing the assembly. Everybody is given a chance, so that it provides opportunity for them to develop their own abilities, and it develops a spirit of patriotism when they perform the national anthem, national integrity, the hoisting of flag, and celebrating the national festivals and other things. It provides a chance for the HM or the teachers to provide announcements to the students in a common way. Sometimes, if we give any announcement, some children will not be aware, but during the prayer, most of them get to know what are the announcement. It helps to the school assembly. Normally, it acts as a platform to recognize the students who are having various talents, and showing the, if somebody gets an award or a medal, it can also be given to the students in common, so that the others will also be motivated to aim towards that. Seminar. So when we know about the seminar, normally it can be conducted within the school classroom level, or in the school, or in the conference, or it may be at a national or an international level. So when we organize a seminar, it should have certain characteristics. Like more often the presentation will be a lecture like presentation on a particular topic. It will be focused and the knowledge will be given to the students. Normally it will be from the time duration maybe from the 90 minutes to 3 hours or more than that. There may be one or more speakers, and the audience can be around 100%. The most of the attendees or the participants will be of the same background. Take for example, if you are having a seminar in your classroom, all of you are in the same age mate or a group, is it not? And then at the end of the seminar there will be a question and answer, and sometimes some printouts can also be given during the seminar for the participants. So whenever we organize such seminar, we should see that it should provide them more knowledge. We have to plan it both administrative side and also in the execution side. We have to make arrangement for showing the different. Take for example, if they have any PPT presentation or anything like that, it should be planned in by. And we have to submit the report of that seminar after that seminar is over, and issuing of certificates in some cases it is done, is it not? So depending upon that we have to dedicate. Through seminar, we are able to develop a group learning spirit and also develop a conducive environment for learning among the children. It helps to develop many ideas about a particular topic, and it also aids the teachers and the students to give their self-expression. Normally, we can see the tele-seminars which are organized in the televisions, TV or internet, where we are able to gather knowledge, is it not? So whenever we arrange any seminar, we should see that it is feasible. Feasible is nothing but it is possible, and what is the content. So if we are going to arrange like this, then it is easy for any person to continue with it. Okay. So the next is arrangement of a symposia. Symposia is nothing but where there will be paper presentations by a number of experts in a particular field or a subject, and they will discuss several points of view, and a discussion is made at the end, and we also recommend certain things. So the audience are very larger in group, so that they will be able to give their own opinions upon the symposium. But when we look into a conference, it is where it is a formal form of arranging a speaker who is having a topic of common interest of the people, and there will be an opening speech, and every day the conference speakers talk on different sessions, and they will be giving out the things. So in this session, it will be interactive in the choice. So sometimes you can see in the conference different kinds of topics are discussed, so that the listeners will have a variety of experiences. So through symposia, we can create an atmosphere of intellectual curiosity among the students, and it provides a recent knowledge on a particular subject area. It makes both the students and the teachers getting ready for a preparation of a symposia so that they adopt to the learner oriented method in utilizing the resources of the teachers. So in this way, if we arrange a seminar and a symposia conference, then the students are able to come with very good thoughts and ideas. Panel discussion is where a group of experts will be talking about a multiple field or a subjects, and the discussion will be done in the front of the audience so that the audience can also give their views. So normally there will be different kinds of speakers in a panel discussion, namely a person who is an expert in that field, and there will be different kinds of moderator who will receive the questions from the audience and they will be answering to their question. And there will be a panelist is nothing but a group of experts in that, and who will be giving the different key points upon that. And the audience will not be of the same category, they will be of heterogeneous, they will be common people or educated or uneducated, like that. So they talk about different people, the problems of people interest, and so that anyone can participate. And finally, after the panel discussion is over, will come with the common decision which is made in the panel discussion. Okay. So normally presenting a scientific paper, it is normally done in higher education institutions where we collect a paper and present it. So during the paper presentation will be collection and selection of the data. We will be collecting the data from different kinds of people, and it will be arranged what for you have collected the paper, what is the main purpose, what are the methods you have used, and what is the conclusion you have come after collecting the data. So it will be done using the different kinds of presentation aids. Namely, it might be a PPT presentation or it might be a Google Meet or a webinar, like that. And then finally, we will be preparing a poster based upon the findings what we have got. So during the presentation of the paper, we should know what are the topics we have selected and how far this topic is going to benefit the audience. So it should be done in a well organized manner, and it should not be based on bias. It should be unbiased and objective in nature. Then importance, we can conduct a workshop also. Workshop is nothing but it is a brief and an intensive educational program. Take for example, I can teach you about the different topics through seminar, symposium exam, but certain things, practical skills, can be trained only through a workshop. So the workshop will be done by an experienced person in a particular subject, and he will transfer the skills to the untalented persons or the unskilled persons. So it will be done in a practical manner. Take for example, when you are taught about how to perform an experiment, how to do a teaching aid, how to prepare a craft material, it is all a workshop. It is not only a presentation thing. Okay. Dramatics, it is nothing but we enjoy when people perform some dramas, is it not? It is one form of the cultural activity. It develops the aesthetic and appreciation of truth, beauty, goodness, everything. So the children normally feel boredom when we conduct seminar symposium for a longer time, is it not? So it will reduce the boredom, and it becomes a playful activity. And we can have a puppet play in the during the annual day celebration or any other founders day celebration, like that. So the drama becomes a more interested and organized way of conducting the programs. So it helps to bring out the talents of the child who is participating in that. It also develops a team spirit, and it gives a knowledge of the different kinds of people who are who are participating there, and it develops here social values also. When we look into the importance of trauma, the inner abilities, potentialities, the things are nurtured through a drama. Scouts, guides, and literary activities, games, and things. So it helps to have a very good, maintain a very good physical health among the children, enhance their mental health, which is nothing but very important for a person to develop his personality. Train them in various practical skills, like when they participate in a scouts and guide, they are given training how to do the first aid measures, how to save a people from a fire or any other thing, or how to prepare and this safeguard the people during earthquake or any other flood, anything like that. So they get them trained in the practical skills. It enhances their personality and also develops their ethical value. So it develops a civic sense among the students. It develops a leadership skills among them and train them to be more sociable, sensitize the social issues, and then they are able to find out what are the social problems which are found in the society and get participate in the community activities so that the students know that they are one member of the society in a practical way. Okay. So, in your examinations, you will be asked write about the importance of arranging a discussion, symposia, scouts and guides. Uh, like that, it will be asked. So, whenever you learn this unit, try to learn the importance of each of the thing and how to arrange them in a better way to mold the student's personality. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.